This is Adam Gorney, Rivals.com, here with national recruiting analyst Clint Cosgrove. Big news, five-star quarterback Dante Moore is committed to Oregon. Clint, just your impressions on this and how big it is for the Ducks.
I mean, it's huge. Dante Moore is as complete of a quarterback as you're going to find in this class, I think. He has all the intangibles. He's a winner. He protects the ball. He sees the field. I mean, he just brings so much to the table, and he's a winner. The guy wins football games. And, this is a big win for Oregon. Obviously, he was a highly, highly coveted player. I know you just saw him recently at the Elite 11, and we're extremely impressed with him there. But this is as big as it gets in this recruiting cycle, in my opinion.
Yeah, I saw him at the OT7 in Las Vegas, where he was phenomenal playing for Cam Newton's team, and then at the Elite 11, where I thought he was the best quarterback there. And then after that, I wrote that, we have him as the fourth best quarterback in the class, but an argument could certainly be made to flip that list, that Dante Moore is the best one, followed by Nico, followed by Malachi Nelson, and then Arch Manning fourth. What does this mean in terms of just Kenny Dillingham's ability to go across the country, continue that relationship, and credit to him for getting him to do this, right?
Yeah, I mean, this took work. He had to put in work for this because they weren't one of the early contenders for Dante, and the dominoes fell in different ways, and I don't think anybody could have necessarily predicted how everything went. But to be able to go into Detroit from the West Coast to pull an elite prospect at an elite high value position and bring him to Oregon, I mean, that's as big of a win as it gets. It says a lot about what's going to be, what we can expect from Oregon in the future. And they're gonna be a force, and they're not afraid to go anywhere and compete with teams in other regions to go and get the best talent that they can to win the games they need to win.
Yeah, the way that I saw this kind of play out was it felt like Michigan, Notre Dame early. Josh Gaddis leaves Michigan, and then it got tough for them. They just seemed like they could never really get back in it, even if Dante took a visit over to Ann Arbor. Really didn't feel like that was going to be the school for him. Notre Dame takes 2024 quarterback CJ Carr. You can't blame him for doing that. But even Dante Moore told me in Vegas that he was surprised that they had done that at the time they did. LSU and Texas A&M intrigued him, but it never seemed to really catch on. And I'm not saying that left Oregon, but Oregon was there from the beginning and continued to recruit him and continued to build that relationship. And I think that's definitely huge. Now, it gets interesting, though, because we don't know if Oregon's going to be in the Pac-12 long term. We don't know if they essentially could be coming back to Michigan to play a few times a year if they're in the Big Ten. Surprised at all that he made this decision now without seeing that? Or do you think it was kind of time to lock it in here?
I think it was time to lock it in. Anybody who's known Dante through this process and knows what these guys go through, not only from every coach in the nation hitting them up to every media member and everything like that. I mean, it can be exhausting. I think he was ready to make a commitment. He felt comfortable with the situation that he was walking into. He's going to have a chance to play, early in his career for a name brand program with a lot of backing. And, whether they end up in the Big Ten or not, I don't think that matters to Dante at the end of the day. But there is going to be conference realignment by the time he is done playing there. And I would not be surprised if he ends up playing in the Big House at some point, which will be a special treat for him. And I'm sure just, the thought of that, that lingering out there only helped Oregon and their calls with him. The other thing that you look at here is, Oregon landing him. And if they move into the Big Ten or one of these conferences that are playing East Coast teams, they've established themselves as someone to be reckoned with, recruiting the area. And I think that could pay big dividends for Oregon moving forward.
All four five-star quarterbacks now off the board. We are done talking about those guys, but maybe more joining them soon. That is Clint Cosgrove. I'm Adam Gorney for Rivals.